I'm a huge Simpsons fan, as you can see, and a buddy of mine saw this, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then it just kept digging at me, and I'm like, you know you want it, you know you want to get it, you know you want to get it. It's like, it's not terribly expensive, and you get to grow something, you know you want it. So I finally got it. So this, I don't think I've ever grown a Chia Pet ever. So I already took everything apart because I needed to look at the directions real quick. So this is a Chia Homer. This is a Homer that's going to come through or go back into the hedge. It's become a meme, but it was like a relatively famous piece on The Simpsons. So really looks nice, Homer here. So what you got to do, this is ceramic. Looks very nice. Got to soak it for a half hour. So I'm going to go ahead and dunk it in some water, and then we'll move on to our next steps. So I've got two tablespoons of water, and I need 2 teaspoons of seeds. I was like, is that enough? But yeah, these are very tiny, and 2 teaspoons is a lot. So dump this in the water. And let them soak for 5 minutes. That's what the directions say. And we'll have, have I grown chia seeds just by themselves? I don't think so. So now what we're doing here, making sure all the seeds are getting wet. I've never done a Chia Pet, I don't think. I've eaten chia seeds in things, but I've not made a Chia Pet, done a Chia Pet. Okay. This has to sit for 5 minutes. It's going to start getting goopy. I'm going to try to get these seeds off my hands. I realize I have seeds all over my hands. I'm going to get these seeds off my hands and go get the Homer. It's been soaking for a little bit now. And we'll start working on this thing. It should be pretty nice. All right. Let it sit for a bit and it gets gooey. So I got my Homer here. I'm just using the back of a spoon to just make it go. You want to put it on in a thin, even layer because these are all individual seeds. So each individual seed will grow an individual plant, right? Duh. Well. So what I'm doing here is just getting it nice and even as I can. Especially because the bush is supposed to be nice and thick that Homer is coming out of. And you can kind of feel it with your fingers. I'm going to do a little bit more, but there we go. It's going to fill in, it's going to get nice and thick. What I don't want is multiple layers because then it won't grow. So you spread it out thin. A buddy of mine got one of these. That's what inspired me to get this. So I saw his, and his came out really nice. So I'm like, man, I gotta try it. It'll make a good video anyway. And I've always wanted to try this anyway. So that's a pretty decent, for two teaspoons of seeds, you know, you don't think that's enough. You kind of feel like, is that enough? But it really is. So I'm going to cover the top a little bit more, but we're done basically. If I can find a place to pick it up. There we go. So this is gonna, you don't water it for 2 days. So I'm gonna leave it in this little container, like, or this little sheet. It came with a little plastic thing too. So I'm leaving it in that. It's Saturday, the 28th of February for posterity. It's going to be probably about 3 or 4 days, and then it's going to start to grow, hopefully. So we'll check back in when something happens. All right, it is about a week and a half later. Everything's come out pretty good. Let's take a look. So one thing I did notice, leaving it with a bunch of water is fine, but then half the water seeps out because it is ceramic, and it did take out, made a little hole right here. Some of this just fell out, and some of it just grown in the pan. So where the water didn't come through, where it's not as wet, there you go, we can see these are just starting to. So there is just enough water for it to soak through and everything, but overall, it's okay. I think it's really good for a first attempt though. These seeds are really hard to screw up though. I've grown them before just for the fun of it, just throwing them in a pot of dirt just to see what would happen. And as long as they're kept, they're pretty good. So it may not be as full as this, but it is pretty full. And this still has probably about 5 more days of growth in it. Is there any water in this right now? No, there's no water in it. Maybe I should put a little bit of water in it. But other than that, I think it came out good for a first time. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let this grow for another week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, and then we'll scrape it down and try it again, because there's a bunch of seeds, and these things are like I said, about a week and a half turnaround, and you already got this. So good first try for Homer.